First up tonight, a live look outside at the campus of Dallas Baptist University on a very warm Saturday evening, but we are tracking storm chances for Sunday. I'm Teresa Woodard alongside senior meteorologist Jesse Hawila, who has everything you need to know for tomorrow.
Scattered storms tomorrow, mainly the afternoon and evening.
Okay.
And we'll have another chance Monday as well. But tomorrow there is the chance for scattered thunderstorms. It's not a washout of a day, and not everybody sees it. I think that's very important to emphasize because I don't want everybody planning on rain, but some of you will get some downpours and some gusty winds with some of the storms that pop up late tomorrow afternoon and through the night. 84 degrees the temperature now here at our WFA Studios tower camera, and we see clear skies across North Texas tonight. We had some showers that fizzled out as they approached the Dallas-Fort Worth area. I mean, it amounted to nothing down toward Corsicana and Hillsborough, just some sprinkles. That's it. Tonight, we are quiet. We'll watch some thunderstorms try to enter our very far northeastern sections of North Texas, Paris, Clarksville. You might hear a rumble of thunder overnight tonight. The chance of that on the low side, it's not zero. Then we start off with a fair mix of clouds and sun. Then we get some instability building throughout the day. Then we start to pop up some thunderstorms. You see by 3 o'clock in the afternoon, we'll have a scattering of showers and storms with higher coverage later in the afternoon and through the evening. Some of those storms could be strong. I've got the full timeline coming up.
All right, well, rain might help with dry conditions that fueled several grass fires in North Texas today, one in Crum, the other in Terrell. Let's take a look at some pictures from Terrell's volunteer fire department. They warned the fire there could continue to burn itself out for a few days. It took about 50 firefighters to save 30 structures in that area. And in Crum, a hayfield burned. You can find live radars 24 hours a day and the forecast on our free streaming app.
Children, hug your dad tight. Hug him tight.
That is the son of a man shot and killed by a federal agent in Houston. He spoke this morning at a vigil honoring his father. The Department of Homeland Security says 52-year-old Lorenzo Salgado Araujo was not the original target of their operation. ICE agents say he ignored commands and allegedly used his vehicle as a weapon. But witnesses who were in the vehicle dispute that. Calls for transparency and accountability are growing louder.
We should be saying this needs to stop. What happened to Mr. Araujo should be the only time it happens here.
Lawmakers, attorneys, and activists in Houston are all saying they are frustrated by what they describe as a lack of cooperation from federal authorities. In Dallas, police say a 19-year-old is dead after a shooting on the east side of town. This happened on Bruton Road Friday morning. Police have now identified the victim as LaCorian Darfour. No arrests have been made. This investigation is continuing tonight. A major utility line upgrade could cause a major headache for a Dallas business. A coffee shop in the city's Lakewood neighborhood says trouble could be brewing because of upcoming road closures. Here's WFAA's Richard Solomon tonight.
The best kind of advertisement comes at no cost at all.
They went viral for their do-si-do.
At Juju's Coffee in Lakewood, word of mouth and customer recommendations have fueled its success.
Viral peanut butter latte. Juju's coffee.
Peanut butter latte.
This is like 12 out of 10.
Yeah, that fully lives up to the hype.
Juju's in general, I think it's like on TikTok. I think I've heard about it.
It's what brought Quinn Duggan and Isabella Pacheco here.
It being a small business, it's so important to support that.
You know everybody, you see everybody's dog.
But co-owner of the shop, Nick Rocha,
like for now, this is kind of what we rely on.
Says he's worried the next thing people hear about could keep those customers away.
We're just scared. You get that news and you instantly think this could put us out of business.
Later this month, Encore says it will shut down this side of La Vista for construction. It's already happening across the street, and the next phase will block direct access to the coffee shop.
Phase 1 is going to be here, and they're going to stage their equipment here as well.
A representative with Encore says they're working on the power lines underground, and the process itself should take about 6 weeks, weather permitting.
Honey lavender.
News no customer wants to hear.
Like that just adds a layer of just making it difficult because I'd rather come here.
But then again, word of mouth.
Thank you again for always supporting our business.
Since the owners posted this video on social media, customers and local influencers quickly began spreading the word.
Save this for your next Dallas coffee run.
Just wanted to get on here and show some support for them.
It's really cool.
Nick says they're already starting to see a response.
Hi, welcome in.
We had this supernatural hope of like, whoa, we could actually do this.
Encore says they're in touch with business owners and have had community meetings.
Got the 2 do-si-dos. Do-si-do, I think, outweighs, hopefully, the inconvenience.
And until the road reopens, they're hoping the strongest route to the front door is still that good old word of mouth.
We want to serve what we love.
In Dallas,
what we would drink.
I'm Richard Solomon.
At home.
An East Texas volunteer firefighter died at a hospital this morning after suffering a medical emergency on a call 4 days ago. Dan Hernandez was the safety chief for the Slocum Volunteer Fire Department, about 65 miles south of Tyler. The department shared this photo of Hernandez and said he carried himself with courage, compassion, and dedication, reflecting the very best of being a volunteer firefighter. New tonight, a deadly shooting involving police in Austin is under investigation. Officers say they received multiple 911 calls about a man pointing a gun at people near a YMCA downtown around 8 o'clock this morning. Police say they found the suspect around 11 a.m. and they say he was still armed. They say they chased after him, told him to drop the weapon, but officers say he ignored their commands. He was shot and killed. The officers who were involved are now on leave. A new report reveals what investigators think caused a small plane to crash on a Texas highway, killing 1 person and injuring 6 others. The NTSB says both engines flamed out and kept the pilots from reaching a nearby airport. The plane took off from Mexico and was on the way to Austin in June when the flight crew started reporting multiple failures. The plane went down in Laredo, and witnesses rushed in to pull people from the wreckage. The crash killed Joshua Baer, an entrepreneur who was instrumental in turning Austin into a haven for tech startups. Tonight, the U.S. has launched more strikes on Iran, and there is confusion over the status of the Strait of Hormuz. Let's get the latest now from ABC's Allison Kosick.
The U.S. military launched another set of strikes in Iran this evening, according to U.S. Central Command. Those strikes coming after Iranian forces blatantly attacked a Cyprus-flagged container ship transiting the Strait of Hormuz. Iran claims the ship was moving through the strait in an unapproved route and was hit by a warning shot. Tensions between the U.S. and Iran have been escalating, but President Trump gave the green light for a new round of talks with Iran. But U.S. officials tell ABC News U.S. representatives were not present for this latest round of negotiations. Public statements from Iranian and Omani negotiators at those talks indicate that only navigation through the Strait of Hormuz was discussed. These talks coming as Iran's supreme leader Ayatollah Khamenei pledged revenge for his father's killing back in February by U.S. and Israeli strikes. Khamenei vowing revenge is the demand of our nation and must certainly be carried out in a statement broadcast by state TV. That warning comes just hours after President Trump threatens Iran if it tries to kill him. Posting on his social media platform Friday night, 1,000 missiles are locked and loaded, aimed at Iran, with thousands more to follow if Iran acts in its threat to assassinate or attempt to assassinate him. Adding, orders have already been given, and the U.S. military is ready, willing, and able to completely decimate and destroy all areas of Iran.
I'm number 1 on the kill list for Iran.
Trump's post coming after reports this week that Israel allegedly shared new intelligence with the U.S. about a plot against him. But the president pushing back on that report, telling the New York Post, Israel came up with nothing. No, saying, I've been number 1 for a long time. Allison Kosick, ABC News, New York.
New tonight, a tricky rescue for firefighters in Louisville after a man falls down a rocky embankment while he was fishing. You can see what conditions were like in these pictures that were shared by Louisville firefighters. Crews say he fell dangerously close to the water, and they had to work their way down the embankment. Rescuers used a rope and a basket to get to him. He is expected to survive.
I'm glad that whatever lined up, that we were where we were when we were there.
A Midlothian firefighter has now reunited with 3 kids he saved from a sinking boat. Jason Horn was off duty in Alvarado Lake Park with his daughter on the 4th of July when people started flagging them down. A boat with 9 people on board had turned over, and 3 kids were trapped in the water underneath it. Horn rushed over and pulled the kids to safety. 2 of them were unresponsive, but he resuscitated them. He got all 3 of them back to shore. The Alvarado Fire Department posted pictures of a reunion with Horn, his daughter, and the family. The fire chief says he has, quote, no doubt the kids are alive today because of Horn and his daughter's quick actions.